Hey everybody, this is Eddie Goldstein, aka Dennis Lone Green. Today's Monday, and I'm gonna talk to you about. I thought might as well do something interesting about teaching you ways how to use make a video and all that. Well, technically, I haven't been before I do that. I wasn't usually up for it on video stuff on vlogs yesterday. I wasn't up for it, but I thought skip one day and lay for vlogs and probably just do some one of those one of those bring back some random vids or something I could pass the time. But anyway, that's not. I'm not going to talk about it on yesterday. I'm going to talk about the ruling of the video camera type thing, how to make your own video stuff and when you put on YouTube. Well, technically, when you want to make some videos, you've got to have some make. It's about let's give you about 3 simple rules about it. Let's talk about in explaining of it, and then I'll give you, and then you get the idea what you're doing when you make your own videos. Let's start with number 1. You've got to have some lighting. Basically, you can do whatever you can. You get some lighting from, well, basically like a house light type thing. That'll give you a good example. You've got to make sure when it's directly at you. So basically, you need some lighting so you can see. So where people like you guys or the viewers need to know what you look like and what you're doing. If you're moving around and all that, if you're moving around from places to places where it's a little bit shadier, you basically won't get to see much. So basically, when you can't see like you're in a dark corner, that's an example way. In the dark corners, you won't see much of your face. Because if you're surrounding, but when you're in the dark corners and all that sort of thing, you won't ever see what you're doing. Otherwise, they might just lose interest. Even you might see some of the previous videos and all that sort of thing, and like when it comes to the lighting stuff, I do my best can to trying to brighten up a bit so you could see the glimpse of my face, and include my friends, your buddies, or anyone who's in the part of the video. So that's basically rule number 1. You've got ruling number 2. Surroundings. You gotta be aware when you want to be filmed at. You gotta find a good locations and all that. Make sure you find a good one that is just part of your own skit, or you can use it for like I'm sitting down right now. You can have a little talk about little talk shows type thing. You just usually basically the simple ruling for that one is you got to sit down. If you want to make your own talk shows type thing, you've got to make sure you have a camera right in the middle to make sure you have your own camera just aiming your face. So even though you can do that in skit, you got to have make sure you have plenty of shots and do some lot of editing. Basically, you're filming, and then once you've done a little bit of filming, do some editing. Make sure you blend it nicely, make it into a one movie or a couple of shots into takes and that. Then that's what you see it. That's number 2. Number 3, this is a important one. If you want to make some filming, you've got to have a good camera. The one I'm using is just a crapberry, blackberry, aka known as black crapberry, I call it. As you might see around the edges of the footage, it's usually not much. It's just like sometimes a little bit windy, some point it's a bit crappy. You know, that's why everyone don't like this sort of footage type thing I'm using. But if you want to make that sort of camera, in a proper camera that does videoing, you need you need a proper camera with a good name like Nikon, Canon, or Samsung. All those name brands that has really good video. That's the important thing you need to do. But best of all, even though out of all the rules you got to remember it, there's the one thing I forgot to mention on the important rule. When you're filming something, make sure you ask permission to do that, because without permission, you won't be able to make it. You won't get it put it on YouTube. But without their permission, and you wouldn't have gone ahead, you would have most likely to end up losing your friend. That's just my advice to this one. Reason I know that I don't want to lose any. Even if I put some videos that I put up, I wouldn't want to lose any of my friends, because when I earned it, even I do this video for hobby. I just want you guys to understand about rulings and stuff. You got to remember the 3 rules about when you're doing some filming and stuff, like camera, videoing, and editing. The other one was lighting settings, make sure you can see where you are. The third one was you got to make sure your surroundings, when you're either doing your talk shows or do a little skit. And even though out of all of it, you've got to make sure there's the most important key is that you need to, that is really important. You've got to make sure, you've got to ask permission if people want to be in the, if you want people in, if you've got a video of someone to make it more, well, basic. If you've got somebody wants to be in, if you want to be someone in the part of the skit, or probably be in vlog and all that, or make a little random videos like I've done mostly time. But anyway, if you want to make sure is to make a skit and all that sort of thing, all that footage you want to make sure you ask their permission if they're okay with it, because without that, you wouldn't be having like a bitch moan fest over here at the moment. Just be sensible and think wisely. If you're that clever enough to understand it, then you should know you'll be fine. So my advice is just be careful what you're doing when filming and all that, and otherwise you'll get most likely to lose a friend or more friends, or anything, a number of friends you have. If you didn't get their permission to be in a video for YouTube, then you've got to be more aware of it. You have to ask them first if they're okay with it. Even though I made it slide a bit, but even though I've been told I didn't ask some of the people's permissions that I actually did, I thought I might as well share with you guys to help you guys out in understanding about filming and stuff. So I thought I'll help you guys out and understand it. So yeah, that's the whole thing you need to about ruling about filming for YouTube. So yeah. Anyway, I'll end this video for now. So basically, I'm gonna end up with, if you for anything else, so yeah. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to catch up my breath here, so don't blame me. So before I go, don't forget to subscribe down on the standards below, and then don't forget to check the description below for all the rules. I might just put all the rules up for you in case you didn't understand the video. Then at least you can check out the description below to understand the rules. Because without that, you won't be able to do something achieved in your life. So I'm just trying to help you guys out. So don't forget to subscribe, to share for the likes and the comments, and check out my library page on the content below, and then we'll see what happens to what you got when you're trying to film it. Even though if I got anybody who's interested in filming and stuff, feel free to ask me anything, and I'll see if I can come up with an idea and the understanding of advice and all that. So yeah, don't forget guys, keep on rocking in the free world.